Hey guys, Blade here, and today we are going to do solo Grandmaster Nightfall with the easiest GM this season, and it is inside Terminus. So we are using here the Doomfang Pauldron for our Titan build and pairing it with Buried Bloodline, which is really insane this season, in my opinion, with the season artifacts and the boosts we have in Tome of Want. So this build is so good for GMs and for Battleground GMs, for everything, and it is so fun to use. So let's take a look on our aspects. We are using here Echo of Resistance, Starvation, Undermining, and Obscurity. I like to use Obscurity in Grandmasters, but you can switch to Cessation, or you can also use here the Harvest or Echo of Reprisal, and this is also switchable. You can also switch this one if you don't have that much discipline on your Titan. So offensive bulwark and control demolition is must have. So we have more shield throw charges when we are in our super, and control demolition to heal ourselves. Vortex grenade is what I prefer because I kill myself with scatter grenades a lot, so you can use any one of these. Shield throw is the best melee you have here because shield bash is good, but it is not good sometimes to use it in GMs unless you are running Peregrine Greaves, Rally Barricade, or Towering Barricade. It is your choice. You must use a Sentinel Shield because our whole build is around Sentinel Shield, and with this exotic piece we buff our Sentinel Shield and also the damage for our void weapons. So that's why this build is so good. It has good neutral game as well as in super you feel so good and it destroys everything. So when we kill something with our melee, we have 25% damage boost to our void weapons instantly, or when we start killing something with our void weapons, we have damage boost tiers. Like at tier 1 it is 10%, and then I think 15, and then 17%, and then all the way up to 25% at 4 surge. And in Sentinel Shield, your shield throw refunds your melee charge, so it is really good for inside Terminus and 3 other Battleground Grandmaster this season. It is also useful in Sunless Cell or any activity which is ad dense. So this is my drip I like to use with it. And Rake Angle is what I prefer for unstoppable champions, but you can use Fusion Rifle or anything you want here if you don't like to use Glaives. Buried Bloodline is really solid. If you do not have it, use Coir of One, or you can also use Lotus Eater or any other void sidearm you want to use. Rocket Launcher is what I like to use with it for the champions, and you must have this active, this mod active. I don't know, I think it is, yeah, this one and these two. These two are must-have mods with this build. It makes it really good. And with Buried Bloodline, when you weaken targets, you have Devour active almost every time on your Void subclass. So whenever you hit something with your Buried Bloodline, it will weaken them, and in result, it will give you Overshield, so you can use this build so much aggressively, even in solo Grandmaster. I also tried Grandmaster Mars, and I'm trying to solo it with this build, and I am extremely aggressively using this thing to get Overshield and kill everything. This build is really insane. And on our Tablet of Ruin, you must use Dreadful Finisher, this I don't know how to pronounce it, Maligin Harvest, I think, and Heavy Ordnance Regeneration for damage resistance, and Void Flux Gold from lead, must have, and perpetual destruction. So our rocket launcher final blows can sometimes refund ammo. Elemental siphon to create void bridges. This is not necessary. This one is must have. Volatile marksman, so good this season on void builds. And unstoppable glaive and piercing sidearms that I like to use, but you can also use unstoppable fusion rifle. So this is it. Enjoy the Grandmaster gameplay and wish you good luck, Titans.
Got it. We've received limited intel regarding a Vex information depot. I want you to get in there and figure out what they know. There's Kargan. Good work, Doc. What intel did you discover?
There's an almost unreadable data artifact here labeled Oxa. It's heavily corrupted, but I'm able to make out M Sund 12.